If you're looking to get into wholesaling real estate in 2024, this is the best time to get into it. This is the time to go all in. This is the time to get rich. And what you need to do if you're getting excited about getting into wholesaling is you're going to need an action plan. You're going to need an actual blueprint guide of how to get in this business, get started, what list to pull, exactly what to say to these sellers, how to find the buyers, and make a ton of money. I think a lot of people overcomplicate this business. And if you truly know how to escape the matrix in your regular 9-to-5 life, you can make a ton of money wholesaling houses, make 6 figures, 7 figures your first year. But most importantly, heck, in the next 2 weeks, get your first wholesaling deal. And so what we want to do today is really kind of hold your hand today and show you exactly how you can get started in wholesaling houses right now. In under 2 weeks, get your first deal, how to find this deal to have wholesaling real estate success. Most wholesalers, it's unfathomable to do this, but on a daily basis, we teach people how to do this. And so it's 100% possible. And this is what we're going to teach right now to change your life. So we're excited. We're pumped up today to help you out and get you rich wholesaling houses. Now, the one thing we are going to say before we get into this, right? This is going to be a blueprint. All right. This is not going to be the complete guide. What I mean by that is I'm going to give you a blueprint and just say, go do this, right? I do not have 14 hours to do a full wholesaling breakdown. If I had to break down every aspect of wholesaling, it'd probably take me full 24 hours. But if you go to freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course where I do it. So I just want everyone to know, we do have a free wholesaling course. It's called freewholesaling.com below. And that's where we do our full course, start to finish, downloads, contracts, things like we're assuming you've already been through this video, right? Mm-hmm. We're assuming you've been through this and you're understanding this. Now, if you haven't, go through the course. But we have to understand if we're looking to get some wholesaling deals fast, right? Your first wholesaling deal, the biggest obstacle to your first deal is going to be you. That is the first lesson we have to teach you. We have to eliminate excuses. Oh, the market's saturated. Oh, it's tough outside. It's cold. It's snowing. No. Okay. The biggest obstacle is going to be you. And if you can swallow that fact right now, we can kind of get started today. Because if you don't understand that you are the thing stopping yourself from becoming successful, but you're also your greatest weapon for success, but you're also your greatest downfall. You have to make the decision right now. Are you going to be scrolling through TikTok, social media and stuff that's not going to make you money? Or are you actually going to go out here and talk to motivated sellers and get deals? This is going to be a deciding factor and something you got to know, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's everybody wants to either blame the material, the guru, the coach, the neighbor, the realtor, or NAR, or a lawyer. But the reality is most of you just get stuck in your head. And the truth is you try this new opportunity wholesaling. Sounds perfect, right? Ton of money, low risk. Here's what most of you didn't get. You actually have to work in this business. Yeah. It's most of the people selling the courses make it so dreamy. And that's why we have such a high failure rate. So if you're willing to work and apply the material and really let go of your old self to become the new self, it'll work fine. If you try to use your old habits, your old personality to try new wholesaling, that's where everybody screws it up. You have to let it go. It didn't work with you before. Why do you think it's going to work in wholesaling? The reality is you have to learn something you know little to nothing about. And if you embrace how we teach it at freewholesaling.com, it's much easier. Remember, guys, there's no secrets, there's no shortcuts, and there's no reinventing wholesaling. And if you're going to try a course or a technique that is just a fancy word, and if the sales pitch goes like this, don't wholesaling, that's so hard. I have an easy way to do it. You are going to get killed. I'm just telling you, 20 plus years experience. Anytime I've ever walked down this path, I've 100% regretted it. You see, if you just do the work up front, you'll get more progress and you'll get more success as a wholesaler. If you constantly try to cheat and take the shortcut, you have to do it every day for the rest of your life. So why not just sit down, learn the fundamental skill sets, learn how to talk to people. We'll show you how to do the journey and just put in the work. If you do that, it's actually not bad. But if you come in the wholesaling thing, you don't have to do anything. There's a million courses. You can buy them all. And you're always going to wind up back at freewholesaling.com if you survive that. So guys, 9 times out of 10, it's you that's holding it up because you're stuck in your old ways and nobody likes change. But change is what's required for you to truly be successful in wholesaling.
100% agree. And so if you can get over your own self and understand that if you can control your excuses and everything like that, we can get started and get your first deal. The problem is so many people watch this and they'll instantly click on the video, but they say, after a week, it's tough. It's difficult. But guys, you guys can cry to me all day. You either get the money or you don't. I ain't going to cry with you. Okay. I'm already rich in wholesaling. You're already rich wholesaling. We already got the money. We don't need to be crying with you. Either you win or you win. And one thing I always get, I sometimes look at some social media comments and they're overwhelmingly positive and great.
Yep.
But I'll tell you, there's some doozies that I love and it makes me happy. Cause it's just, it just shows the reality. Half of these is like, I think I made a post on it. I was just like on Instagram. I was like, hey, you want to make 30 grand a month? Like start wholesaling houses. Pretty simple. Got like, tens of thousands of people looking. That was great. Oh, what's this wholesaling thing? That's great, right? And then I got like 30 comments. I got like, I think 3 or 4 of those comments were like really mean or whatever. And then I got like 20 DMs and like on Facebook, and they're all like, tried wholesaling. It sucks. It's saturated. There's no way you can make money. This guy's a liar. Yeah. I had one guy, I can't even say it. It was so funny. And then what was it? And then I had another dude that said, oh, you're only rich because your dad was a professional wholesaler. And I'm like, have you seen my live recordings? Have you seen me close all these sellers? Have you seen me create millionaires through wholesaling real estate many times over? Like, I mean, y'all can, I'm just telling you, y'all can go give me any excuse in the world you want of why I'm, whatever, why he's this, right? Oh, you're in a good market, Rick, right? You get all these. Anything that you try to separate between you getting rich and the actual thing that get you there. So this guy said wholesaling saturated. Don't. Okay. Yeah. And, part of me wants to say, and here's the honest truth, and I don't make anyone feel bad because, I got some people saying like, oh, this guy's full of it. Wholesaling doesn't really work. Or I got one guy said wholesaling, I tried it and it failed. You should never do it, right? This guy's never done it. And another guy said, I've never done a wholesaling deal in my entire life, which is just funny stuff. But the honest truth I could tell you is I was thinking about that. And it's one thing that kind of came up to my mind today, but like winners win and losers lose. That is the honest truth in wholesaling real estate. And so you look behind us, we got Mike Tyson on today. You know why? Because Mike Tyson's a winner. He doesn't lose. Yeah, winners win and losers lose. And the truth is, if you want to stay a loser, be a loser. Can you guys name 10 people that Mike Tyson beat? Sorry, 10 people that lost to Mike Tyson. You don't know the guys that lose, right?
The guys that lost.
But you don't like 10. You know the guys that won, obviously. But you guys know the people that beat him, but you don't know the people that lost to him pretty much. There's some of them, but like you don't know most of them, right? Can you name 5 people that Floyd Mayweather beat? I mean, if you're a really big boxing fan, yeah, but not really, right?
McGregor.
But like 5. I'm talking 5. It's hard, right? Because nobody remembers the losers. Do you remember who the runner-up in the 1986 Super Bowl was? No, but if you statistically shown people who was the winner of the Super Bowl 2 years ago,
I know who in 84 was.
I know, but I'm just telling you, like, people remember the winners.
Yeah.
They don't remember the losers. Okay.
Don't you find this, that people who make, I bet if you did a study, I ain't got time to do it, people who make negative comments and troll the internet, if they even do it on your site or my site, I almost guarantee you I can find 10 other places that complain. It's like a disease. It's chronic. Everything's against them. And as long as they blame someone, they never have to make themselves accountable. If you guys ever notice, like I saw once, somebody put I don't know why anybody would ever put a comment on Yelp. Like you got a lot of time on your hands. But I noticed on Yelp or Google, like this person reviewed 36 restaurants. I'm like, really? That's what you do with your life?
But that's
crazy.
But what I'm trying to tell you guys is the people that lose, FYI, okay? You got sports fans that know who lost, but like most of the time, the losers in history are never remembered.
They're not.
Only the winners. And so if you failed in wholesaling, you will not be remembered. And you complaining on the internet is not going to help you out. And so the truth is, if you're a loser, you're going to lose in wholesaling. Like, if you're a winner, you're going to win. And the coolest part about wholesaling houses for everyone starting out is, what's the difference between a winner and loser in wholesaling? A winner is someone that's gotten their first deal, right, and getting it done and taking action. And then we have losers. Losers are people that quit wholesaling. That's it. So you might be asking yourself, like, Zach, what does that make me then? You're a winner in training. Here's the cool part about wholesaling. You never lose unless you quit. That is it. It's like, do you lose a marathon? Unless you're going for first place, but most people do marathons for themselves. It's the achievement of just doing the marathon. Yep. So when I ran my marathon, I did one. The goal was not to get this crazy score or whatever, right? I wanted to not stop the entire time, but like the winning was in the achievement of doing it, right? Mm-hmm. And the training for it was way more fun than actually getting it done because I felt really bad. But what I mean by this is just doing it. And if you just don't quit, you will eventually be a winner. If you're running a marathon and your goal is just to finish it, every step you take, you get one step closer to it. Mm-hmm. And eventually you take all those steps, it just seems kind of monotonous. get to that end point. And so there's a lot of people that tell you wholesaling sucks, but it's because these people quit. These are the same people. They'll go back to their 9-to-5 job. Then they'll go back to their cubicle, $22 an hour.
They just don't want to make a change.
And that's the rest of their life. And then you get the other people that will go do their other day trading or whatever, and they'll fail in that. Because failure and quitting, it's not a wholesaling thing. It's a perpetual habit for most people. And you have to understand this now. So if you decide you want to be a winner, let's talk how to win. Because there's not been one person in wholesaling real estate, and I put my reputation, my name on this, besides me, Rick, and Zach in, that has taught more people to get their first deal than us on the internet in wholesaling real estate ever. Not even close.
No,
it's not
even a close.
It's not even a close comparison. And so, it's kind of like I've done the most wins, for people. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should be the guy showing you how to do this. So this is what we're going to do today. I've taught a lot of people to get rich. I've personally gotten rich in this. You have too. So I'll teach you how to get it going. So if you're starting out in this business right now, your first question, I get out. Number one, I got one, how do I start? How do I get my first deal? How do I find it? What do I do? What's the real secret, right? And it's so funny, but really that's the question. How do I find my first deal? How do I find a motivated seller? Every single time I explain wholesaling to like a friend or someone else I meet, like whatever, they always ask, what do you do? I always tell them I'm a drug dealer. It's just easier, in my opinion. I don't explain wholesaling. I just deal drugs. They're like, no, you don't. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I don't. But it's just, it sounds complicated, but it's really not. How do you wholesale houses?
Yeah. Well,
find an ugly house, lock it up, sell it to someone for a profit.
So whenever people ask me, I don't even get into it because you're in the right place when you don't even bother to explain it to people anymore because people are going to interpret it the way they want it. I'm like, I don't understand. You make so much money. Oh, you're one of those real estate guys. They instantly assume you're a realtor, broker, or a developer. And honestly, I don't want to do any of those because they're a lot of work. It's massively risky. And I'm just saying, so like when I go to explain with people, I just do real estate. I keep it as vanilla as possible because watch the level they push you to. They don't, I'm just gonna be honest, they don't care. Now, if they see your lifestyle, then they go, okay, I just want your lifestyle. I don't know how to do it. I just want your lifestyle. That's the problem throughout the world right now. Everybody wants the end result. Nobody wants to go through the journey. In fact, I'm here to tell you, there's no wholesaler that just starts in the first 2 weeks and goes, oh my God, this is the easiest thing I've ever done. This is so what? It's actually the complete opposite. And you got to understand that going into. And a lot of the people you see quit. I tried it. Once you say tried, don't even start. You are going to have a series of failures. They're not catastrophic. It's just how you learn to do wholesaling. Yes, you're going to get rejected. Sorry. Just like when you chased a significant other when you were young or in school, the only way to find the right person, you got to go through a lot of rejection. Because if you just want someone's going to say yes, you're going to have to settle in life. No different in wholesaling, guys. You got to take risk. You got to go out there. And people who use their old personalities that fully admit are broke and have not got them to the point. That's like using an old computer operating system to run this new high-powered computer called wholesaling. You have to change. If you're not going to change, it's not going to work. That's the biggest problem I see in wholesaling. And I had it somewhat too, but sometimes you just got to let go and trust the universe. I get it. There's so much damn information out there and so many people want money for stuff. I get how people are skeptical, but I'm just telling you, every wholesaler I've ever met had to take a risk, had to do what the person said, and understand you're going to have failures and rejection. If you get that, man, like this 2-week plan is going to be a piece of cake for you. If you're going to fight it, could be 2 years. I don't know. But we are the biggest obstacles in our success. And it's not just in wholesaling, guys. It's in everything you do in life. So you got to open up and be open to change. Life is nothing but change. From the minute you're born, you're smacked on your bottom, you're screaming and crying, you're getting wiped off with a rag, all the way till the day you die. So you might as well just get on the roller coaster, enjoy the ride, and make the absolute best of it. Stop settling for like your average life. I'm telling you, I did that. It sucks.
Okay. So how do I find this deal, right? That's the question being asked and all this stuff, right? Very important. So the honest truth is it's stinking simple. Okay. I really, everybody wants the secret. Everyone wants this insane like thing that's going to, oh my gosh, wow. It's not that. All right. Like I just, it's like asking Mike Tyson, like, how do I get really good at boxing? Oh, okay. So there's a secret thing. I eat 2 cranberries and then I swallow a couple sugar pills and then I only drink decaf coffee at 3 p.m. and then boom, I'm the best ever and I get muscular. Nope. No. What do you think he's going to say? Work hard and be obsessed. But no, okay. But really tell me the real truth, right? People want the shortcut. They want the simple thing, right? And they want all, it ain't going to happen. All right.
There's no Ozempic for wholesaling?
No. It's so simple, but you just got to work hard. Simple as that. But there are some fundamentals. If you can really grasp this as a experienced wholesaler I have now, I start in any market and I do really well because I understand a lot of concepts. Number one, the more sellers you get in contact with, the more money you're going to make. That is general rule 101 of marketing. More sellers, more money. Simple as that. And there's quality of sellers, right? So talking to 100 probate sellers is going to be way better than 500 high equities. And just statistically, right? So there is some quality issues with that too. So of course, higher quality lists are going to be better, but generally more sellers are going to equal more money. And so now we understand this. It's like, Zach, how do I make more money in wholesaling? Talk to more sellers. How do I'm not getting enough leads? More sellers. How do I double my profits? Talk to more sellers. It's the name of the game. And how do I talk to more sellers? You know, that's the big question, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's honestly 3 ways to find motivated sellers. There's 3 main ways. And if we're getting started in 2 weeks, this is all we're focusing on. There's no fancy systems, no crazy PPC lead type thing, right? No SEO course I'm trying to get you. No little link in the bio to go pay someone $4,000 to start your journey to do a pay-per-click Google ad thing, right? No Facebook ad thing. Guys, you're not getting this business to go drop $5,000 a month to maybe see if it works. You don't need that, right? $5,000 a month should yield you insane results, but and then these gurus are like, oh, you look at my student. He got his first deal in a month. He spent $17,000 on marketing.
And then what did he spend for the coach? Guys, here's the truth of the matter. The way me and Zach teach this, it's about, listen, I know everyone who's interested in wholesaling is not a good fit. I know it up front. Actually, this business has been abused. The reality is you should be able to get your first deal without doing all these paid advertisement and leads. And I'm here to tell you, if you get talked into that, and you think it's going to be easier, it's a fool's goal. Do you know why? You really don't know how to talk to sellers. You don't understand the process. You don't know how to dispo a deal. So the last thing I want you to do is go out and buy $10,000 worth of leads, pay-per-click, direct mail, or whatever it is. It's going to be brutal. Now you're going to get leads and you're going to get your guru off the hook. And by the time you get your first deal, you might make $5,000 if you're lucky. And so you paid 10 for the leads, you paid 10 for the courses, 20. You're $15,000 in the hole. And a lot of gurus go, it's so successful. The reality is we teach you all the ways to find the most motivated list. I want you to get your first deal. That is my goal. And then from there, our recommendation is get you up to 5 deals. Why? Because we're going to show you all the different lists, even in today's live stream. And honestly, if you can go out there and you can hustle, work smart, and push the quantity lead and take a massive amount of action, you can easily get 5. Because you know what? If you get 5 wholesale deals the way we teach you, you're going to kill it in every other avenue. Now, take the guy or gal that pays $10,000 to buy leads and stuff like that. If they don't get multiple deals out of there, they have to quit because they're out of money. And they still have not. Listen, the more people you contact, the more sellers, the more you talk to, that's how you get really good at wholesaling. So you might as well practice on somewhat free leads. But honestly, we're not teaching you to sell. We're teaching you how to qualify, how to be a guide, and walk people through the journey. You are never going to make somebody sell you your house. We are not used car salesmen. We have to be master marketers, and we have to learn how to master the art of conversation. If you can do those 2 things, it's amazing. Now, get your first deal. Then get through 5, then we can have a different discussion and start showing you how to scale your business. Why do I do that? If we have a 95% failure ratio in this business, I don't want you to be a statistic. And if you can't go out and get your first deal, don't worry about getting your 5th deal because you just don't have what it takes. I know that's a painful comment, but it is the truth. I've seen people take years to get up to their first deal or first 5, but then a light bulb goes off. I've seen people do it in 2 weeks. It's up to you. You have to put in the work, guys. If you think paying for advertising is going to be a shortcut to wholesaling, you're going to struggle with this. So our recommendation is get your first deal, easily get you to your 5th deal. By then, you actually become a well-oiled machine and you are actually ready for paid leads. But every other guru tells you to do paid leads up front. And that's why you have such a massive fallout rate in this business because it's a lot of pressure.
Exactly. So y'all just got to be careful here. I see a lot of wholesalers, they get asked to pay so much money to get into wholesaling. But if you spend the insane amount of money, and it's not worth it. And so what you need to do is just find motivated sellers. There's 3 simple ways. That's it. If you're going to start this business, you got to choose these 3 simple ways. Number 1, paid lists, first and foremost. Okay. If you're looking to get into wholesaling houses right now, you can pay for a list. So you can use like listri.com, zacdata.com, dmzac.com, any of those websites. Go pay for like a high equity, vacant, whatever. Those are good. You're going to have to pay for skip tracing. Even dmzac.com, you got to pay for, but you get a lot of leads with that, right? Skip traces. So there is payment you have to do on these lists. That's why we call these paid lists, because you actually have to go out here and pay for lists like this.
Guys, it's much cheaper than an employee loan. I'll be straight up and honest with you. And you guys have an advantage. I didn't have these lists available for me. Everything was a la carte and you had to pay for them. So yes, more people have access to it. That's why, in my opinion, it is hard to run a wholesaling business. It's not a requirement, but I'd rather pay like $99 than pay $2,000, $3,000 a month for an employee that doesn't even understand what we do. So go get a deal. Go get one by yourself and start adding some tools that you can scale your business. I don't want you to go from $0 to 10,000 marketing a month, because it's not going to work out well for you. In fact, I know it won't work out. And that's why I'm telling you, if you can go out and get the list that we recommend and you're not scared to talk to people, amazing things will happen. But if you don't want to take action, you don't want a lot of leads, there's nothing me and him can do.
Exactly.
It's up to you guys.
Exactly. So for paid lists, though, you have to understand here why I'm not the 100% biggest recommendation for beginners. It's because any Joe Schmo watching this video can go click on a prop stream video, pull the list the guy says, and then start cold calling that list. Then you all come to me crying, oh, the seller says I'm the 5th person to call him, but it was so easy to pull the list. Why do you think it's so easy? Because everyone can do it.
Guys, you should not be upset when 5 people reach out and market to a seller. The only time that you're going to call that saturated, or the only time you're going to use it as an excuse, is you're scared to level up. I get excited when they talk to 5 people. Why? Because I'm a one and done. I'm going to get you to the finish line, and I'm going to go above and beyond any other person they talk to. Why? Because I'm going to build an amazing conversation and guide them through it. I'm not going to force them, but I know the right words, the timing and everything to say. You know why? Because I've done this for 20 years. You think I started out doing that? It was terrible. And we teach you the techniques at freewholesaling.com, even if you don't know what you're saying, so you don't screw it up. And as you go through it, you'll learn. When they talk to 2 or 3 people, I'm like, awesome. Because here's the reality. They talk to 3 people. You interested in selling your house? Great. What are you asking for? Once you do that, dude, I'm going to step all over. I know how to talk to people, but the average person does not invest any energy or time to learn how to communicate and talk to people. And I will go out to say, everyone's like, it's all about sales training. I disagree in wholesaling. Wholesaling is learning about how to connect with people and how to guide them. Sales training's trying to convince somebody to give you something that they don't necessarily kind of want to let go. And that doesn't fit the mold for wholesaling. I don't understand sales training in wholesaling. I get it in realtors because they do have to convince them to do it. But with us, either that shoe fits well and they have no reservations with you and you guide them through the process. We spend all our time and energy on marketing and connecting and conversations with people. So when they talk to 3 or 4 people, get excited. Learn how to talk to people and connect with them. Ask quality questions that lead to a conversation. And once they get the laughing and they're making small jokes, talking about their family, you have the upper hand. You have the advantage. Or you can be like all these other people out there teaching it, and you can just be transactional. What do you want for it? How much you asking? Yes, listen, I don't compete with those people. I don't believe in it, and you've got to have the same mentality. So when you hear, I've talked to 7 people today, awesome. Now you've met the person that's actually going to help you and get your house sold. And just find out what they want to accomplish and see if you can guide them through it. You can't help everybody out, but God's sake, guys, there is the saturation's in your head, period.
Exactly. And so, but the kind of the point I'm trying to make here is, yeah, when you use a paid list, you're gonna have a conversation with people that had lots of conversations, which we don't want. Now, I know it's good in some instances, but we don't want that for every single lead. There's 7 or 8 other wholesalers talking. I know it sounds great. Yeah, you can't overcome them. That's more of a direct mail thing. You don't want that as a beginner. Okay. And so I think what you're trying to talk about is like direct mail type thing. When you're cold calling, you don't want the person to have 8 other conversations that day.
I don't.
It's saturated. So what you should be doing instead is something where it's a little more difficult to pull a list. All right. And so this is kind of the point we're trying to make here is, yeah, paid lists are great, but I would probably kind of move towards free lists too. And what I mean by that is you don't want to go cold call lists at 7, 8, 9 other wholesalers talked to that day. And so when people get upset, I send them just do a government list. And they're like, oh, that's way too much work, man. And they're like, okay, I'm just going to go to PropStream instead. It's way easier. They come, 10 people talked to the seller today. Oh, so you got to choose your hard. And they're like, what do you mean choose your hard? I'm like, you chose to do the easy list and then have the hard results versus choosing to do the hard list and get the easy results. They're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, whatever you do is going to be difficult. Either it's difficult in the beginning or difficult in the end. You'd rather be easy with the money-making part and harder to get the list, because once you get the list, then it's easy to make the money. And so there are these secret free lists that no other YouTube channel ever talks about called free lists. All right. These are lists you get for free. They don't cost any money at all. Most of these are provided from the government. These are lists like the code violations, the water shutoffs, fire damaged properties, the arrest record list, probates, tax liens, tax delinquencies, IRS debt lien lists, people behind on their credit cards, the arrest records. Like I go on and on, but these are literally lists you get from the government that cost no money at all, that the majority of wholesalers do not pull. And so I love this YouTube channel. It's the best wholesaling channel ever, I think, but not every wholesaler watches this. And the vast majority of wholesalers don't even know who I am and don't know who Rick In is, which is great. That means if you're watching this, then you're getting secret information that these people don't know. As our social media grows, probably more people are going to understand this. And I've seen this in the past 2 years. More people have been pulling the government list in our local market, but I'm okay with that. It's just the name of the game, helping people out. But you just got to understand that there's these big pool of people doing the paid lists, but so much smaller doing the free lists. And the free lists are harder to get, but there's more motivation with each one. And that is kind of the point here. You make a ton of money in wholesaling real estate, right? It drives me crazy, but I'm telling you, if you can do this, it's even better. Now, there's actually a secret list on top of this that's even better than the paid list, and then even better than the free lists. Gurus, write this down. It's called the earned lists. All right. So you're going to see a new, course on this. I can't say this because people know who I'm talking about. There's this person, not a guy or gal, person. I'll say person. Okay? I came out with a new marketing method 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, actually, 3 years ago. And let's say the method was about, let's say it was about putting donuts on people's houses. No, let's say we're putting donuts on top of people's cars. All right. And I showed people how to do it for free. All right. I showed people how to put donuts on people's houses, and I gave it for free, and it worked really well. This guru decided, you know what? That's a really good method, and it costs no money at all. Let's call it the donut hanging method. And they started selling it. Even to this day, if you scroll on YouTube, Facebook, there is a person who sells a course on literally what I tell you guys how to do for free. I'm not going to mention what it is because it's going to be very obvious, but it's one of these things I'm going to speak about today. But it is unbelievable that it's a $4,000 course on part of earned list that I'm about to speak on today. And so I'm just letting you know, and people pay for it. There's a lot of people pay for that, which is crazy for me. And you guys probably don't know who the person is, but some of y'all will. I literally teach you guys free methods, and I make them up myself, you and me. And we give it to people for free, and then people literally sell it for $4,000, and they just run a Facebook ad on it. It's insane. Okay. It's insane. So let's kind of talk about what an earned list is. An earned list is a list that you can't get from the government. You can't go pay for it, no matter how much money you have, how much really on internet time you have or whatever. You can't get this list. This is a list you actually have to earn. You can't buy it. You can't just get it from someone. You have to earn it yourself. So you can either go in your car, drive for dollars. You can reverse drive for dollars with sticky notes, right? And you can do stuff like that where you have to go out here and actually put the sticky notes out. You actually have to go pull the driving for dollars list out and call them. And it's really simple. Like, for example, if you want to put 100 sticky notes out, you just put 100 sticky notes out. Spend $1 on the sticky note, you put them out, say, hey, my name is Zach, I had a quick question about your house. Please give me a call back. Simple, easy, right? Yeah. But like, I'll tell you all to do it. And statistically, once someone puts about 400 or 500 of those out, they get a wholesaling deal. But everyone knows the stats, but they just, I don't know. It's still too much work. Unbelievable.
Don't worry. I saw one actually the last few days on the internet. I swear, guys, it's like January is like the season for all the new courses, by the way. Everybody comes up with these crazy contraptions, and it's all to confuse and disguise you. It's one simple little technique, and it's usually borderline illegal, and it gets shut down. So the latest trend I've seen, and it looks like someone's getting ready to release a course on this. I'm not going to say who, is how to beat every other wholesaler by buying the homeowner's house wholesale and having them stay in it. That's going to be your advantage pitch of all other wholesalers. Good luck with that one, dude. That is just a recipe for disaster. You understand that? Like, do you guys honestly think you can buy a house and leave the home? The homeowner just wants the money, but they don't want to sell the house. There's so many problems with even marketing this way. I think it's actually predatory. It's worse than a cash out loan or anything like that, because the homeowner never wants to leave the property. And so here's typically how they do those deals. Somebody transacts it, put it under contract, gives them the promise of a lifetime, then they sell it to another investor. And guess what the investor does? They evict them. So I'm not a big fan of stuff like that. So guys, you're constantly going to see courses that come out to reinvent how wholesaling is. Dude, wholesaling is very black and white. There's no wiggle room. This is how it's done. Can it lead to other things like creative financing? Yes, yes, and yes. But stop trying to take the shortcut. There's no way you can buy someone's home and let them stay in it forever. Unless you're just a really nice person and you don't mind giving away other people's cash. But I saw that. I thought I'd share with you. I think it's nuts. By the way, the wholesaler will never share with me their secret technique, because you got to get on a waiting list and get behind the paywall. So
exactly. And so you have to earn this list though. Okay. This is a list you have to earn. All right. It drives me crazy, but you just got to drive for dollars for the sticky notes, whatever method, it'll get you wholesaling real estate deals. That's how you become successful. And so now we pull these lists. How do we actually reach out to these? Like, what's the marketing methods and channels for it, right? Well, I'll be completely honest with you. Once you pull these lists, if you're trying to get a deal in 2 weeks or less, this is what you have to do. You have to, number one, cold call.
Oh my God. I got to pick up the phone. That's not in my personality, my
easier
style.
For me to spend $4,000 for someone to cold. Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Guys, you shouldn't be dropping $6,000 your first month in the wholesaling.
You don't know what you're doing.
You got to learn how to do this first. I think that's pretty important. And so just FYI, you have to do it. You have to do at least some parts of it to understand it. Okay. Even Jeff Bezos was literally going out here packing books by himself before he even had people doing it for him on Amazon, right? Bill Gates was working on computers before he hired people to go make the computers. Steve Jobs did the same thing in his garage, right? Yeah. He kind of did everything himself, and then he had people doing it with him and for him, right?
Guys, whatever you got to do to get your first deal and then get to your first 5 deals, and if that includes you making 10,000 phone calls, do it. So many of you guys think, I don't know if you get it from gurus, well, I'm just going to outsource everything. This is how business works. You can't outsource something you don't understand. You're going to get abused. This is how most VAs take advantage of new wholesalers, because you don't even know what to ask for. And then you're disappointed when you don't get the results you want, but you really never gave them the tools to get there. How do you do it? Deep dive, go in. If it takes you 3 months, 6 months, or a year, I don't care. Once you master it, then show them how you did it. And then you use the tools you learn to keep up with them and manage them and lead them and teach them. But so many new wholesalers come in. Someone told me just to hire a VA and they'll do everything for me. I go, they're going to take all the money out of your account because you don't know how to manage them. And in 30 days, 90 days, whatever it is, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to fire them and you're going to do it all over again. And in the end, you're going to come back to me and Zach here at freewholesaling.com. And guess what? You're going to try to figure out how to do it the right way. And there is no shortcut. If you're trying to avoid making the 10,000 calls, you better ask yourself, am I really cut out for wholesaling? Honestly, most of the stuff me and Zach bring, it's just the truth, because I don't have a paywall to hide behind. So the only way I can really connect with you guys is give you 100% the truth. And sometimes it hurts. Honestly, this is a conversation someone should have had to me in my first 90 days of wholesaling. I was too scared to cold call. I tried every other way. If I just did it, I would have done so much more business and done it faster. But I didn't have the right person to guide me through it. So I'm sitting here. If you're struggling with it, no one's going to hurt you on the phone. It's not that hard. Honestly, I've yet to see someone completely outsource from the beginning and never touch cold calling and be successful. It's the truth, accept it or not. But this guy made millions of cold calls before he even outsourced it. It's just, you have to understand what you're dealing with and how to connect with people. Once you do that, you can manage and, more importantly, lead other people to do it. But if you can't do it, it's impossible to lead a team around you to do what you've never done before. It's really hard. It would be like you being the coach of the Miami Dolphins and telling them how to win a Super Bowl. Well, if you've never done it, you don't know how to do it. And how does he do it? You do it with experience. You start out just being, well, kind of like Mike McDaniel, just be the ball boy and work your way up. Mm-hmm. The ball boy, guys, the man was the ball boy. He makes a lot of money as a coach, but he knew to start at the bottom. Why do you think you can do any different, guys? Pick up the phone and rip through and call as many people as you can. You want the fastest, most efficient way? Cold calling is always going to be it. I get it. It's painful. It's not fun, but this is the hard work we talk about in wholesaling.
Exactly. And so you can cold call. The kind of what we're talking about. Go to freelisting.com. We show you how to do it. Just get on those phones, have conversations with sellers. The point of why I love cold calling so much is you gain skills talking to motivated sellers. Why doing it? You actually gain skills and market both at the same time. You can't beat it. That's why I'm unbeatable over the phones or talking to a seller, because I have more reps than anyone else. So these gurus can't touch me. Now, next one's SMS text blasting. I love SMS text blasting. So, it's regulated. That's all I'm getting. I guess, oh my gosh, I had one person on my live stream, what was it, Tuesday or Thursday? No, Sunday. My Sunday live stream. Somebody told me in the live stream, I heard SMS text blasting is illegal. Illegal. I said, who said it? He said, this guy. I'm like, okay, let me look up this guy. I said, I guarantee this guy's trying to sell something. Pop him up, a little TikTok, buy my course. I'm like, and I couldn't even find the TikTok of the guy, but this guy said that this guy said that you can't even SMS text blast. It's completely illegal. If you send one text, FBI bust down your door, puts you in handcuffs, death sentence, for sending a text out. And it's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard, because I want you to understand that, do you understand who makes laws? Politicians, right? Do you know what politicians care about? To be completely honest with you.
Votes and money.
Power and money. And to get power, you must have money. And what I mean by that is political power. You have to have a lot of campaign, fundraising, stuff like this. And you might not understand this, but a majority of fundraising for politicians comes from two sources, because they're the best sources to extract money from people. Number one, cold calling. Number two, SMS text blasting. You might not know this. Let me explain cold calling really quick, because we got a lot of people watching this. You have to understand that your local congressman and woman, it's not public information. It is public information. It's just no one really wants to tell you. Your favorite politician, once a week, they get forced to go from their office to the DNC headquarters or the RNC headquarters. And what they do is the political party sits them down with a phone with people that have donated to their campaign before, and they are forced for hours and hours to cold call, and ask for money. Mm-hmm. That's how most of these people raise money, by cold calling. And they can't do it from their office, so they have to go to the party headquarters and do it. Not weird. It's completely true. It's facts. And so why do you think cold calling is never going to become illegal? Why am I allowed to cold call? You know why? Because it's actually, what the politicians do, it is exempt from TCPA and DNC law. You know why? Because they're not trying to sell something. They're asking for a donation. So they're exempt from, they made the law just for them. But that law also works for wholesalers, because we're not selling a product or service, right? So everyone talks about DNC law. If you are encouraging the sale of a product or service, that's illegal. I'm not selling a product. I'm not selling back massages, right? I'm trying to give you money or seeing if you want to sell your property, just like the politicians do it. Now, second here, political action committees, PACs, super PACs, they raise a lot of money through text blasting. If you haven't seen it, I get it all the time.
All the time.
They text all the time. So what do you think is going to happen if they make texting illegal? The politicians will unban it very fast, because that's how they make their money. And so for every guy and gal that says cold calling or SMS is going to become illegal, bro, that's how the politicians make their money. It's not going. Yeah. And so you get all this feng shui, these people say, oh, it's going to become illegal. It's not.
Guys, they're never get rid of cold calling. It's been around for ever since the phone was invented. And if they cut it off, it's going to, listen, as you said, politicians run it. They're not going to cut off one of their strongest source. So the text blasting, they'll probably try to put some filters that will cover them, but hinder everyone else. But there's only so far you can close that hole without cutting them off. So I love when all these people are like, oh, it's all dead. I've been hearing this for 4 or 5 years, still keep doing it. Still works just fine. Is it more work? Yeah, you just got to be more creative. That's it.
So just FYI. So you can, everyone can text blast with their personal cell phone. You can text blast sellers. Go DMZach.com, get your skip tracing, batch leads, get your skip tracing, ZachData.com. Heck, you go to cyber background checks, truepeoplesource.com, get someone's phone numbers, just blast the text out. Anyone can do it from their phone. You can send about 5 texts an hour without getting spammed. You can use Google Voice, that's 10. If you have one phone number, you can send about 100 texts a day for free. You can use a paid service like SMSZach.com, which I love. There are some issues with paid texting right now. There are some regulatory changes. They're kind of changing the templates up. Currently, as this video, launch control is right now SMSZach.com. They're negotiating with AT&T to get better outbound scripts, but that's probably going to take another month, probably most likely. And so every service is having this issue. So really what they're doing is they're negotiating with AT&T right now and all the other providers and going from there. So on the long term, it's a little tougher, but people are still getting a ton of deals from this. But you can also just text blast for free. And if you're getting started in this business, text blast for free. That's what it is. Now, next here is reverse drawing for dollars. Guys, just put sticky notes on houses. Simple as that. Hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back. So literally get a sticky note, write that, slap it on an ugly house you see. You can also get a list, let's say, of the pre-foreclosures. Get 100 pre-foreclosures. Just put sticky notes on those houses. Kind of like you're a UPS driver. Make trips and just kind of make the most. There's route tracking efficiency apps out there you can do, and get 100 of them. Just put sticky notes out there like your delivery driver. Whew, I cannot stress this enough. It's like doing direct mail, except you're not paying a ton of money in direct mail. But like, I don't think anything I said is going to be insane. Okay, I don't think anything I said is like a big secret. I don't think anything I said is going to be this thing that's going to change everything. So what I want to do is give you the secret, right? Number one, the secret is your game plan and execution. So like if you really want to get some deals, have a game plan and execute with that. Make a plan and stick to it. That's how all great things have happened. No one's ever conquered anything without making the plan first. They always have to plan.
Yeah. And guys, I'm gonna be honest, planning is kind of the easy part. Like it always comes down to execution. And I'm here to tell you, when you start out on your journey in wholesaling, everybody thinks it's like this perfect straight line up. I'm just telling you, it's gonna be all over the place. Honestly, think about anything you do when you start out. Think about the first time you rode a bike. I guarantee you crashed. I don't think there's anybody on the stream that just went straight. Like when I learned to ride a bike, I was on the concrete with no helmet, no pads, no nothing. My dad goes, it's going to hurt. You fall off. I'm like, it was motivation to figure it out. And I got torn up, but so the question is, are you going to fall off the bike and just going to quit? Because that's what most people do in wholesaling. So if you know it's going to be work up front, understand you're going to scrape your knees, you're going to get bruised. But I tell you what, if you look at the reward of what you're going to get, it's worth going through the pain. Is it okay to make a couple thousand phone calls to make 20, 30 grand? I think it is. Some of you don't think it is, or you won't admit it to yourself. And that's why you're struggling in wholesaling. You see, you're using your old self, your old personality to try to run this new, incredible business machine, but it's going to require a higher skill set. And that's where most people fail. If you're not willing to step up, like it's like you're driving this little toy truck and I'm giving you a giant bulldozer with like tons of levers, huge, you got to climb into it. You just got to get it started going. And you're not going to do very well in the beginning with it. And if you're okay with that, have fun with the journey. Nothing's ever perfect, guys. This isn't school. This isn't like your high school teacher, any of that stuff. And you know, none of that stuff really applies to the real world. You got to go out there and apply yourself. It's going to feel risky. You're going to feel all alone. And the only reason you feel that way is because you're not used to it. And all your friends do other things. And it makes you feel inferior. You have to change your mindset. Stop worrying about how your friends accept you or view you. And understand you're going to struggle. But when you come out of that struggle, there's going to be a different respect for you and your family because you took the risk. You took the energy to do this. And that's the biggest problem. So many people are so close to hitting it out of the park. You just, oh my God, it was so tough. You never know. The next phone call could be that $50,000 deal. How many times have you done a $100,000 deal off someone? I'm like, this lady's going to drive me nuts. I used to say that. I'm like, I got so excited after I found out I buy her house. I'm like, it was worth it. So remember, when you set out to it to make tons of money and do all this work, there is a price to pay. If you're not willing to pay the price, admit it to yourself or get a better place to where you can hop on that journey. And I think that's where a lot of people miss out on wholesaling.
Exactly. And so just make a plan, stick to it. And so the real secret here is consistency and discipline. Let me explain myself here. It is easy to go do this method every day for a couple days, but the real secret's showing up every single day and doing it, right? Now, it's very hard for you to go to the gym every single day, eat right, and work out really hard every day for 10 years straight and not look better than when you just started. Yeah. Because you show up every day. Now, I know people at the gym that show up every day don't really work hard, but like, you got to work hard. You have to work hard too, right? But consistency is the real key here. I'm not here to go hard for a couple weeks and then just quit after this, right? This is the start of the journey. You have to show up every single day and do the work. That is the real secret here to success. Why am I so successful? There's some days where I work harder than others, but I've never not shown up.
And guys, the secret to consistency and discipline, somebody goes, I want to shadow you for the day. And I'm like, dude, trust me, you're going to be bored out of your mind. When you have consistency and discipline, it's monotonous, it's redundant, and it's semi-boring. That's what it's designed to do. If you need to have everything new and exciting every day in your life, I'm an ADHD guy, you have to find a way to stick to the pattern. And sometimes it's painful, but as you learn from the greats, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, all the people, the guy behind me on the screen, they just show up every day, regardless of what's going on and how they feel, because you can't, unfortunately, if you let your emotions like run every decision in your life, you're just going to be like everybody else. You have to go, okay. Sometimes you got to step back and go, okay, I reacted a little bit strange on it. I need to go. So the consistency and discipline, it's boring. Listen, boring and redundant makes money. That's how machines work. You think machines decide if they're going to turn on every day? No, they just get electricity and they keep going. I don't want you to be a machine, but in the beginning, especially these 2 weeks, you've got to think like a machine. I'm getting up, I'm going. The machine starts at 7 a.m. I got to go. Machines don't sleep in. I got to do maintenance on it. But guys, it's boring. So many people, like, you ever follow around these wholesalers of video? It's boring. I'm sorry. I've been doing this 20 years. You'd be bored out of your mind with what I do. It's just tired old conversations. Keep pulling lists and keep talking to sellers. That is it. And if you keep that boring routine going, you make a crap load of money.
Exactly. So the secret, show up, do the boring work every single day. Now, let's kind of talk about what I just said today in this video. I don't care what your guru told you. And I don't say this even try to be funny or anything. I really don't care. And so kind of at this point where I talk about wholesaling, people are like, well, my guru said, this guy said, well, I heard this, so this guy said this. I don't care. I legit don't care. There's not one person that's shown more people get their first deal than us. Well, we say I know work. And the problem is a lot of people will go out here and they'll take a little bit from everyone. That's everyone's like, oh, take a little bit from my course, then buy this guy's course, and then buy this dude's course. And here's my kickback on it, right? Here's the truth. If you try to make a lasagna, all right, pretty simple dish, not simple, but like it's pretty standard dish, right? Lasagna.
I can't make one.
Okay, lasagna.
I can eat one.
I know, but like lasagna, right?
Yeah.
If I go to Aunt Betty, I kind of get her recipe. Mm-hmm. I get Mary Sue's recipe. I get like 13 recipes on lasagna. I decided to take, okay, let me get the meat from hers. Let me get the pasta method from hers. Let's do her sauce. You mix them all. Everyone's recipe is different. You max it. It looks disgusting, right?
Yeah.
It's always better when you stick to one recipe, right?
Tastes good,
and it's just, it drives me crazy. It's like trying to do 15 pizzas at once. It ain't going to do well. You got to stick to one script. This is the script that's helped the most people out. And so kind of the other tips I can give to you getting this deal right, keep your conversation simple. Focus on MCTP, getting the appointment, and making a low offer. Simple as that. FreeWholesaling.com, we got you covered how to do that. You want to find buyers? Just FY for everyone. I keep this really simple too. Cold call the cash sales on listri.com or zachdata.com, right? Cold call the 4 rents on Zillow. Talk to realtors or get some property auctions. That's how you do it. I'm not here to overcomplicate this business for you guys. Finding cash buyers is simple. Cold call the cash sales. Go to the 4 rents. That's where most of them are. You can work with realtors or go to your local property auctions. Title companies have them too. But really, we got to focus on getting some sellers and deals first. Make sure you're in the right market. FreeWholesaling.com. We teach you how to do this. That's all you really need to know.